I've heard some creative explanations as to why responders do not complete 360-degree size-ups. Included on the list are some obvious or expected responses, and some that are less obvious and a little more surprising. Here are a few. Stay tuned. Coming up in this episode, I discuss the importance of completing a 360-degree size-up. But first, let's hear from our amazing sponsor, Midwest Fire. Every day, the hard-working men and women at Midwest Fire build the most reliable firefighting apparatus to be found anywhere. Their customers know a well-built fire engine means lives and property saved. Midwest Fire, a factory direct manufacturer dedicated to helping you extinguish fire before it becomes a raging beast. To learn more about what fuels their passion, visit MidwestFire.com. Hello and welcome to Situational Awareness Matters, episode 329. I'm your host, Rich Gassaway. The purpose of this show is to improve situational awareness and decision-making for individuals and teams who work in high-risk, high-consequence, time-compressed environments with changing conditions. The SA Matters mission is simple. We want to help you see the bad things coming in time to prevent bad outcomes. Today's feature segment is sponsored by our new online training platform, Gassaway Virtual Training. We now have 33 online programs for your members. Some of these programs are live events presented virtually, and some of them are pre-recorded programs. To learn more, visit samatters.com website and click on the Virtual Training tab. Okay, let's jump into our feature segment where I discuss the importance of completing a 360-degree size-up. Situational awareness starts with capturing clues and cues in your environment. It's really a quite simple premise. To capture clues and cues requires seeing and hearing them. At a structure fire, the visual clues and cues occupy a finite environment, the building and the space around the building. I'm nothing short of astounded by the number of firefighters telling me they don't complete a 360-degree size-up at a structure fire before making entry. I was inspired to write this article from two recent accounts shared with me. The first account came by the way of a firefighter sharing a near-miss event with me following one of my situational awareness programs. She was part of a crew of two and did not complete a 360-degree size-up at a residential dwelling fire. They made entry through the front door and they fell through the floor and were trapped in the basement. As she recounted the details, I was reminded of a similar residential dwelling fire that killed two firefighters in Coleraine Township, Ohio. The firefighter I spoke to and her partner fared much better, and they were rescued and survived. The second account came to me by the way of an email I received from a firefighter who offered up the topic for an upcoming situational awareness conference call training program for firefighters. Here's what he wrote. Less the parts that I removed to ensure the confidentiality. At my department, the 360-degree size-up is almost frowned upon. When we catch a job, I always have the driver pull past the house and see three sides, and then I try to do a walk-around. It never fails. I get yelled at to go into the fire. He says, now I love going into buildings on fire, but having lost a firefighter because they fell through the floor because no one did the walk around and it was a basement fire, I feel good that I walk around with the intent to try to save lives. I found myself with peer pressure just not wanting to do the 360 because it's not standard practice in our department. I was disappointed with how many fire departments have no written or required SOPs that require a size up. I'm even more discouraged as I learn about departments that have a standard, but it's not practiced. I'm appalled when firefighters share with me that the best practices are discouraged. There are a few things that responders can do to help build the foundation of situational awareness, and one of the main ones is conducting a proper 360-degree size-up at a residential dwelling fire. This allows you to capture and process some of the very most important clues and cues about what's happening. Not only can you see the conditions from all angles, but you can also observe important clues about construction, exit points, the floor plan layout, and such. I've heard some creative explanations as to why responders do not complete 360-degree size-ups. Included on the list are some obvious or expected responses, and some that are less obvious and a little more surprising. Here are a few. 1. The building was too large. I couldn't get all the way around it. I didn't have time to walk around it. 2. There was no access to the backside of the structure. 3. We had a 3-sided view as my driver pulled past the structure. 4. I got yelled at by the incident commander for trying to do the 360. 5. The next in crew will take our hose line if we take the time to do the 360. 6. I know that I'm supposed to do it, but I got distracted by the homeowner talking to me. 7. The fire was coming out the front door and I didn't need to go around to the back to see the obvious. 8. The backyard was fenced in and there was a big dog in the yard. 9. There was a victim inside. We didn't have time to waste to do the 360. 10. The second in company will do the 360. The front view and the back view can be very different. And I'm not here to judge the explanations. Whatever reason offered, it's important to know that failing to complete a 360-degree size-up is a barrier to the formation of situational awareness. As I read casualty investigation reports where firefighters die in residential dwelling fires, the failure to complete a 360-degree size-up is often cited as a contributing factor. Develop and implement a standard that requires the completion of a 360-degree size-up. If your department has the standard, ensure it's being practiced. If you find out 360-degree size-ups are not being done, start asking why. Expect to hear some of the explanations that I offered here. I acknowledge there are many conditions that may make completing a 360-degree size-up difficult, if not impossible. For example, on June 2nd, 2011, 2 firefighters were killed at a residential dwelling fire where a 360-degree size-up was not completed. This particular house was built on the side of a steep hill, making it nearly impossible to complete the 360-degree size-up. An inadequate size-up was a contributing factor in this double line-of-duty death. Completing a 360-degree size-up is going to start occurring automatically isn't going to start happening automatically simply because a standard is developed or that administrators put out a directive. The size-up must be built into routines and responders must practice this through repetition. This includes building the size-up into training evolutions. Responders need to be taught what to look for and listen for, the clues and cues that are present and the clues and cues that are absent. If your fire department does not complete a 360-degree size-up now, it may be ingrained into your department's culture. Like the examples noted above, if someone fears getting yelled at for doing it, they may not complete the size-up. If someone thinks another company is going to take their hose line while they're doing the 360-degree size-up, then they're probably not going to complete it there either. Since 2007, SA Matters instructors have helped more than 1,200 organizations and 87,000 individuals improve high-risk decision-making, including first responders, industrial workers, military personnel, business leaders, medical professionals, utility workers, highway workers, aviation workers, oil refinery operators, and more. If you or someone you care about works in a high-risk, high-consequence decision-making environment, then we are here to help to improve their safety and survival and to help them accomplish the most important mission of all, and that is to go home to the ones who love them. Since the start of the pandemic, I've had some amazing opportunities to present programs on a virtual platform to groups ranging from 6 to 400. A couple of weeks ago, I had the opportunity to present to first responders from the Atlantic provinces of Canada. For those who may not be familiar with the region, this is New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland, and Labrador. Over 12,000 firefighters serve in the Atlantic provinces, and roughly 300 of them attended this program live, and the playback link is going to be shared with all 12,000. That's quite a value for the investment. If you're interested in seeing all of our events, past, virtual, postponed, and future, they're all listed on the SA Matters website. If you're interested in seeing a list of where we've been or where we're going, just head over to the website and click on the program dates under the live training tab at the top of the homepage. If you're interested in hosting a virtual program or a live program when the pandemic's over, just click on the Contact Us tab at the top of the SA Matters homepage, and I'll give you a call. Remember to check the show notes for how to subscribe to our newsletter, how to follow us on social media. There we share ideas about how to improve situational awareness and how to make better decisions under stress, and how to improve the skills of critical thinking and resilient problem solving. Well, that's it. Episode 329 of the Situational Awareness Matters show is complete. Thank you to our amazing sponsor for 6 years now, Midwest Fire. Thank you to our feature segment sponsor, Gasaway Virtual Training. And thank you to our associate sponsor, Chief Miller. And most importantly, thank you, the listeners and viewers of this show, for sharing some of your valuable time with me today. I really appreciate your support of the SA Matters mission. Be safe out there, and may the peace of the Lord and strong situational awareness be with you always.
You've been listening to the Situational Awareness Matters show with Dr. Richard Gasaway. If you're interested in learning more about situational awareness, human factors, and decision-making under stress, visit his website, samatters.com. If you're interested in booking Dr. Gasaway for a program, or if you would like to be a guest on his show, click the Contact Us tab at the top of the homepage.